Andela, welcome track Amal to my Afrikaans speaking followers, and welcome back to another video. As you guys had gotten a notice earlier in the week, I had a lot of fun doing that video last week about the South African born players playing here in the United States, and I thought, man, I'm going to continue this. I am a bit of a stat junkie, so let's go right. But before I even get into any of that, thank you guys for the continued support of this channel, independent rugby content from a different point of view, I guess, from a North American point of view here. And I've been doing this for a while now, and I've had kind of the ebbs and the flows, people kind of coming and going and staying, and I've been through a lot personally, but you guys have kind of stuck around and always been there, and I just wanted to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. From the bottom of my heart, guys. Thank you guys so much. By a donkey if you're an Afrikaans speaker, but I really do appreciate the continued support that I get doing this. I've been a bit more active, honestly, on TikTok. It is a younger avenue, and it's a little easier to kind of make videos, but I do enjoy doing these kind of videos for you guys, especially because it's kind of more of an adult audience, it seems, over here a bit more, and I'm able to kind of be a stat hound if I want to. But once again, like I said, it is Safas Abroad, the URC edition. Before I even get into this, we'll kind of set the ground rules. We're not counting the Safas on the URC side, the South Africans on the URC sides. We're counting the South Africans that are playing outside of South Africa for the URC. And a bit of, we'll kind of go through just the beginning of this, the teams with the most imports. Now, I'm not talking like English people playing for Italian teams are considered imports. So basically, who's not native to the country where the team is. And I get this is professional rugby, so you're going to see a bit more of that. But the top two teams, as far as imports go, are both in Italy. It's Benetton and Zebra. Benetton has 19 non-Italian players. Now, if they've got caps for that country, I'm not counting them as an import. So, obviously, there's a couple of guys that play for Italy that are not born in Italy. But like I said, Benetton has 19, Zebra has 14, Glasgow has 12, Ospreys have 11. And then you look at the least amount of imports. Ulster and Leinster both only have 3. Munster has 4. Cardiff and the Dragons with 6. It's kind of, you kind of just look at that. But an overall perspective in all of this is that for 4 South African-based URC sides, there are only a total of 8 imports. And I kind of want to mention the fact that, like, yes, there are guys that play for Congo and Zimbabwe, obviously not major rugby programs, but we'll talk about the fact that, like I said, there's a Scot and a Kiwi for the Sharks. The Stormers have an Englishman, and like I said, there's a couple of Zimbabweans and Congolese players playing in URC in South Africa. So obviously, we're not at the top of the heap as far as imported players either, not even close. Obviously, with, like I said, Benetton and Zebra having that, followed by the Glasgow and the Ospreys. So as far as import players by team, once again, South Africans are at the top of the heap with 20 SA qualified players playing outside of the URC. Now, there's technically 25, but we'll get to that in a moment. There are 20, but we actually don't stand alone at the top of this pile. Now, you might be wondering, who is equal to us in the URC? Would it be Kiwis? No. With the demise of the Jaguares in Super Rugby, Argentine players are also 20 Argentine players playing in the URC. So they tie us with that, followed by Kiwis with 14. There are 7 Tongans, 4 Samoans, 4 Aussies, 4 Zimbabweans, 2 Fijians. There's actually a USA Eagle and 1 Hong Kong player. Kind of a bit of an interesting one there. But we're going to go by team in alphabetical order. and mention who are the South African players playing for each team. We will start off with Benetton. They're in Italy. They have Gideon Kulkenberg. He is a 29-year-old lock from Wellington in the Western Cape. Olin Cavaliers. Yeah, he's definitely a vet of them. He's a bit of a journeyman. Played for the Rebels, the Sharks, Zebra. Played Division 3 for the Kurita Water Gush in Japan. That's their first guy. Then they've got Dewalt Duvinaha. I'm sure I butchered that, but he's a 35-year-old scrum half from Cape Town. He is a Parle grad, also played for Boland, played for Western Province, played for the Stormers, played for the SAA, played for SAU U20s. He does qualify to play for Italy now. I think the most well-known moment of that guy's career was back in 2011 when he got cleared out by Baki Sputa. Yeah, that was a pretty brutal one, if anybody can remember back. I don't know if he's actually playing. He is also listed as an assistant coach, so maybe he's on the roster but not really playing. And then their last South African-born player is Rhino Smith. He is a 31-year-old utility back from Parle. He is also a Parle grad, a Northwest U alum. He played for the Leopards, Sharks, and Cheetahs. So they have 3 players. Cardiff has none. Connacht has 1. Shane Bolton, he's a 23-year-old winger center from Pretoria. He is a University of Free State grad, and he is Irish eligible. The Dragons have none. Edinburgh has 2, but technically 5. We'll kind of get into that in a moment. Luan De Bruin is a 31-year-old prop from Pretoria. He put time in with the Cheetahs, the Leicester Tigers, and the SAU 20s. Boenventer is a 26-year-old prop from Kimberley, Northern Cape. He played for the Cheetahs and Griffins. And then we get to the asterisk players. Vepinel, obviously a 37-year-old prop from Northern Cape. He is a Boland, Western Province, and Cheetahs alum. He has 60-some-odd Scottish caps, so he plays for Scotland. Pierre Schoeman is a 29-year-old prop from Nelspruit. He had time with the Bulls, SAU 18 and U20, and he has 30-some-odd caps with Scotland as well. And I believe we have one more. Obviously, the big one here, Duhan van der Merwe, 28-year-old wing from George, Western Cape. He put time in with the Bulls, Montpellier, Worcester Warriors, SAU 20s. He is a British and Irish Lions Tour alum. He is the brother of, I did not know this, Akker van der Merwe. I feel like a dunce, man. I had no idea. He has 40-plus caps for Scotland, but I had no idea that Akker van der Merwe was Duhan van der Merwe's brother. It's a very common name in South Africa, obviously. So the Glasgow Warriors have 4, but they also, once again, technically have 6. They have Nathan Macbeth. He's a 25-year-old prop from Welkom Free State. He is a Lions alum and a SAU 18 and U20. He does qualify to play for Scotland. JP Dupria is a 29-year-old lock from Boksburg there in Johannesburg. He is a veteran of the Lions, Cheetahs, and Sale Sharks. Sintu Manjezi is a 28-year-old lock flanker from East London, Eastern Cape. That's definitely an Eastern Cape sounding name. He played for Eastern Province, Southern Kings, Griquas, Cheetahs, and Bulls. Hanko Fenter is a 31-year-old flanker from Bloemfontein, Free State. He played for the Cheetahs, Sharks, and Toshiba Brave Lupus in Japan. He is the nephew of Bach legend Ruben Kruger from the 95 World Cup team. Now, once again, 2 asterisk players because they have gotten caps. Ali Keppel is a 31-year-old prop from Durban, KZN. He is a Western Province and Stormers alum and also had time with the SAU 20s, and he has dozen and a half caps for Scotland. And Kyle Steen is a 30-year-old center wing from Joburg. He is a Stellenbosch grad, also put in time with the Griquas, and he has 20-plus caps for Scotland. Leinster only has 1 South African on their roster. Jason Jenkins is a 28-year-old lock from Pretoria. He put in time with the Bulls, Toyota Verblitz in Japan, Munster, SAU 20s, SAA, and he does have a single Springbok cap back in 2018. Munster has 2. We already know who they are. John Klein is a 30-year-old lock from Joburg. He put time with the Western Province Stormers. He has 5 caps for Ireland, but he was also a member of the 2023 Rugby World Cup Championship team, and just made his return last week. The Viking himself, Arhi Sneman, the guy from Poch Northwest Province. I know that's a shortened version of the name of the town, but he is from the Northwest Province. He has played for the Bulls, the Honda Heat in Japan. He is signed with Leinster for next year. He has SAU 20s and a two-time World Cup winner with the Springboks. The Ospreys, they do have four. Three of them are lone players. They do have Tom Buta. He's a 33-year-old prop from Belleville, Western Cape. He is a Parle grad. He put in time with the Western Province, Southern Kings, and Cheetahs. They have three lone players. They have Victor Siketi. He's a 30-year-old flanker lock from Joburg. He's played with the Lions, Southern Kings, Griquas, and Cheetahs. And he was the captain of the 2022 Toyota Cheetahs team. Also on loan is Giandre Rudolph. He is a 29-year-old loose forward from Florida Hauteng. He put time in with the Leopards, Pumas, Bulls, and Cheetahs. And a last loan player that they have is Ivardi Bushoff. He is a 25-year-old center from Uppington, Northern Cape. He has played with the Leopards and Cheetahs. The Scarlets do have two South Africans. They have Edwin Swart. He is a 23-year-old hooker from Pretoria. He won a Currie Cup with the Pumas the year that I thought the Cheetahs were going to win it all. The Pumas ended up, but he was on that Currie Cup title team. And Jared Taylor, he's a 23-year-old flanker from East London. He is a Stellenbosch grad, and he has put in time with the Western Province. Ulster has one South African player. That would be the redhead himself, Stephen Kitsoff, a 32-year-old prop from Somerset West there in the Western Cape. He is a Paul Roos grad, a Stormer, a former Bordeaux Eagle, a former SAU 20, and a winner of both the 2019 and 2023 Rugby World Cups. Zebra Parma has two technically, but they only have one listed, and that's Dylan DeLue. He is a 22-year-old lock from Cape Town. He is a Paul Roos grad and a Western Province alum. And then Franco Smith Jr., his dad played for the Springboks back in the day. He was born in Wales, but he also qualifies for Italy as well. And that seems to be it, folks. That is what we've got. Not too bad of a list. Obviously, I'm going to do another one of these next week. We are going to dive into the Premiership and the Japan Top League. We're going to talk about all of our South African players that are playing over there. And obviously, we have a lot of top names, and then we will finish it off with the top two divisions of French rugby, possibly the third division. I thought about doing one with Super Rugby, but I think we might have one guy playing in Super Rugby at the moment, Super Rugby Pacifica, which cracked off last night at midnight our time. You know me, I'm a Chiefs fan. That's my team in Super Rugby, and now that the South African teams aren't playing in it, but the Chiefs, they escaped. A bit of controversy in that game with Anton Leonard-Brown. Apparently, they have these sensors in the mouth guards now. It'll say if you got hit too hard, and he was sent off to go get a HIA, and he's like, hey, I'm fine. Like, I don't know what's going on. So a bit of that. Obviously, Tamatai Williams injured for the Crusaders. The Crusaders look... I think their reign is coming to an end, folks, but we'll have to just wait and see. But obviously, Six Nations back in this weekend. I'm not really going to talk about that too much because I just don't want to, and it's just not that entertaining. I'll just let you know I picked Ireland to beat the brakes off of Wales. I picked Scotland to beat England, and I picked France over Italy. That's really all I have to say. But I will be hitting the road tomorrow morning, 9 a.m., 10 a.m. I'm heading to Tulsa, Oklahoma to see my best friend Jordan. We are going to go attend a club ice hockey game between Oklahoma State University, my Cowboys, versus the in-state rivals, the OU Sooners. I will be going live on TikTok leading up to that. So if anybody wants to come and see what I'm doing and hanging out with my bro, and we're in Tulsa, and the great country song, Living on Tulsa Time, we will definitely be doing that. But until next week, we get obviously the return of the URC. I've been doing the hype videos. I mean, it's really hard for me to pick the Bulls or the Stormers. It's like the legacy is so great in both of those programs, and me being all the way over here in America, I guess I don't really have the same loyalty ties as everyone else does. I love all SA rugby. I want the Sharks to do well. I want the Lions to do well. I want the Stormers, Bulls. If you've learned anything from these last two videos from me, is that once again, I know there was an election yesterday. I know things are uncertain. I will be there in the spring, guys. But know this, that the nation, the Rainbow Nation, the Republic of South Africa, its rugby is still going strong, regardless of the politics. So at least try to smile about that. That, like, hey, look, South Africa is still a monster when it comes to producing top level athletes in this game. We may not get the respect that we feel like we deserve from some places, but just take a look at what they're using and you'll know. They may not be playing for South Africa, but their roots are very deep. So we will end it with that. Be safe, everyone, and I will talk to you guys again very soon. Cheers, guys.